Black Light, talking about Detroit. I never got around to really getting deep into the teachings of Master Farad Muhammad. It's a move right now for the government to squash all Islam, because the real truth about Islam is it's the nature and the culture of the black man. And then you start understanding that the black man is God. It don't matter about what shade of black you are, high yellow, or the thing is, your ancestors, your DNA, your blood, all that, it's got the signature of God on it. And right now you don't understand that part about yourself, because your culture has been slowly but surely has been disintegrated. It'll take many more years for you to be totally void of your inheritance, but they're working on it. Now, I made these videos right here for the all blacks, for my people only, really. This is for my people only. I know some Caucasians might every now and then drop and visit this right here. I know most of my people ain't gonna visit it because I don't have no status quo about me, and I'm old. But you brothers, that want some good advice, I call myself a counselor, not a leader, because y'all the leaders. But every good leader has a counselor, has an advisor. You got to change this whole system around, man. You can't keep doing the same thing that your forefathers do. You see what happened to your forerunners. So you got to look at who was the most successful. And wasn't nobody really in the music business successful. Prince, Michael Jackson, they made a lot of money while they was alive. But when they died, when they died, the people who was handling them made more money. Same with Ali. When he just same with Ali when he uh left the Nation of Islam. He should have stayed. See, they killed Malcolm because Malcolm was getting ready to hook up his own thing, and he wouldn't really side with him. He didn't really want to get with him because he had the teachings up on his belt, but he didn't follow protocol. He should have took those military teachings with him. But it was somebody working real close to him that was an agent that was advising him wrong because he had strung himself out there, with his mouth and didn't have no protection. Now you could believe that young Pharaoh and Seti and them, they got protection. They working for the government. They ain't worried about Minister Farrakhan retaliating against them. on no kind of level. But what Pharaoh don't know is that the government ain't real, man. They're not true to you, man. They gonna get you. And people go and try to blame it on Farrakhan or one of Farrakhan's followers. That's why I'm surprised that Rizza, Islam, wanting to fight, want to fight young Pharaoh. You know, unless they in cahoots together, man. I don't understand the way the way the nation of Islam under the leadership of Farrakhan is rolling now. They done completely went outside protocol that Elijah established, outside the code of conduct, outside the restrictive laws. So you got to go outside the restrictive laws to try to, you know, straighten it out. But your code of conduct got to be on point. Your protocols got to be on point, man. Because Elijah said, don't be arguing with these brothers. You make your point, and then, you know, you don't argue with them. Anyway, here in Detroit, we 85% black. But you still depending on the enemy to control your destiny in the hip-hop and music industry. Now, I said on last video I was going to tell you how they almost got me. I knew that, you know, I had to buy my own masters. I knew that. And but what I was fooled by was the top black movie music executives were really working for the devil. That's how they got where they was at. And one of the cats, one of the brothers that wanted to handle my music and sign me up, name was Al Perkins. They murdered him the day he was gonna sign me up. They went in his office and shot him in his head. Never found out who killed him. Then I signed up with Don Davis. Well, I had signed up with Don Davis. I signed the contract. Artist Don Davis was the president and the owner of United Sound System. And he wouldn't let me, I had a band already, and I had an all-female band, you know, and all of them was bad. I had one sister play like Stanley Clarke on drums, you know, another sister played like Max Roach on drums. I mean, Stanley Clarke on bass and Max Roach on drums, and you know, pretty good, fair, good guitar players. And anyway, I signed up with them and had a small budget. Back in those days, it was just $50,000. That's all. It wasn't no million. $50,000 budget. But they gave me a producer, and he was angling on getting the money anyway. But I didn't know too much about the business part of it, but to make a long story short, I came to the studio one day to finish up on some tracks, and the engineer was blowing opium. He had about 5 white women around him. They was all over him. He blowing opium like it was going out of style. And the producer was sitting back watching me. And so he said, you want to join him? So I got mad, because I knew that time was coming out my royalties. I knew that. I had enough sense to know that. And I had asked for publishing. They wouldn't give me publishing, but I said, well, this will be a start. So I had artist-composer contract. I write my music, so I would get the money for the composing. I wouldn't get no money for producing, but artist and composing was cool, And so I got mad at him and told him, I said, man, get rid of them women. Let's get busy and go to work, man, So he didn't do it. So I said, well, I'm going to tell Don on you. He said, no, you tell Don I'm going to end your career. Yeah. And see, I wasn't smoking back then, smoking no herb. At least I wouldn't let them see me do it. And drinking or nothing, getting high for anything. He tried to get me to bring some drugs in the studio. I said no. I had training, discipline from the FOI. And I wasn't drinking, smoking, or fornicating. I was married too, And I found out about what the messenger said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about Caucasians. It was true on all levels. So I'm just, pulling y'all young boys' coat that it ain't no joke, man. What's happening? When you get with these big time producers or executives, they already turned out, and they'll try to corrupt you and punk you out if you let them. But they ended my career after that. They tried to put my stuff on the shelf, and when no other producer take control of what I was doing. So I was blackballed a little bit. But I learned a whole lot. Now I run that on you on future video. So this is Black Light.